It is the most famous dinosaur of all time, the one that dominates movie screens, video games, and the imagination of anyone who's ever looked at a fossil. The Tyrannosaurus Rex. But the truth about T-Rex may not be what you think. Yes, it was big. Yes, it was terrifying. But behind the roaring movie monster, science reveals a creature stranger, more complex and more fascinating than fiction. This is a primeval glimpse into the truth about the king of the dinosaurs. For starters, let's look at the basics. Tyrannosaurus rex lived about 66 million years ago, during the very last years of the Cretaceous period. It was one of the final great dinosaurs before the asteroid brought the age of dinosaurs crashing to an end. Rex stretched over 40 feet long, stood more than 13 feet tall at the hips, and weighed around 8 to 9 tons. That's heavier than an African elephant and longer than a bus. And then there's the bite. Tyrannosaurus rex had the strongest bite force of any land animal ever discovered, up to 12,000 pounds of pressure in a single bite. That's like having a small truck drop onto your body. Its teeth weren't razor-sharp like steak knives. They were thick, banana-shaped and serrated, designed to crush bone as easily as snapping a stick. One fossilized Triceratops pelvis shows puncture marks so deep that T-Rex teeth pass straight through solid bone. In fact, it may have eaten bone on purpose, crunching it up for the nutritious marrow inside. It wasn't just a predator. It was a walking garbage disposal. But here's where the story gets interesting. For years, paleontologists argued about a controversial question. Was T-Rex truly the unstoppable apex predator we picture, or was it mostly a scavenger? On one side, scientists point to its incredible sense of smell. The part of its brain dedicated to scent was enormous, larger than in almost any other animal. This would have allowed T-Rex to sniff out rotting carcasses from miles away. And when you're a 9-ton dinosaur, why waste energy chasing prey when you can simply steal a free meal? On the other hand, fossils tell a different story. Triceratops skeletons have been found with partially healed bite marks from T-Rex. That means these dinosaurs were attacked while alive, survived the initial bite, and healed before dying later. Proof that T-Rex was actively hunting. The truth is likely somewhere in between. T-Rex was both a predator when the opportunity came and a scavenger when a carcass was too good to pass up. In that way, it was like lions or bears today. Deadly hunters, but never too proud to scavenge. And then there are the surprises. Things about T-Rex that almost never make it into the movies. Take its arms. The tiny, comically short arms of T-Rex are one of its most mocked features. But in reality, those arms were far from useless. Each one was over 3 feet long and packed with muscle. They may have looked small compared to the rest of the body, but each arm could lift over 400 pounds. Some scientists believe they were used to help the animal get up from the ground. Others think they helped hold on to struggling prey. Not so funny now, are they? And what about baby T-Rex? We often imagine them as miniature versions of the adults, scaly little monsters waiting to grow into giants. But fossil evidence suggests otherwise. Juvenile T-Rexes probably had a coat of feathers. Yes, you heard that right. The king of the dinosaurs may have started life looking more like a 6-foot-tall, terrifying chicken than a scaly dragon. It gets stranger. T-Rex didn't grow at a steady pace throughout its life. Instead, it had growth spurts. Between the ages of about 14 and 18, a young Rex could gain up to 1,500 pounds a year. Imagine watching a predator grow bigger than a car in the time it takes for a teenager today to finish high school. And they weren't necessarily lone hunters. Some trackways suggest that young Rexes may have hunted in groups, using teamwork to bring down prey. Adults may have lived more solitary lives, but imagine a pack of feathered teenage tyrants running together across the Cretaceous plains. That is a nightmare no movie has dared to show. But despite all this, T-Rex was still vulnerable. It lived at the very end of the Cretaceous period, just before the asteroid impact that wiped out most life on Earth. For millions of years, T-Rex dominated its environment. It hunted massive herbivores like Triceratops and Edmontosaurus. It even may have battled armored ankylosaurs, swinging their clubbed tails like wrecking balls. But 66 million years ago, everything changed. A 6-mile-wide asteroid slammed into what is now Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. The blast unleashed tsunamis, global wildfires, and months of darkness. Plant life collapsed, herbivores starved, and the predators that depended on them starved soon after. For Tyrannosaurus rex, the king of the dinosaurs, the reign ended not in battle, but in silence. Today, what we know of T-Rex comes from fossils scattered across North America. From Montana's Sioux and Stan, two of the most complete skeletons ever found, to bite marks, bone fragments, and even fossilized skin impressions. Each discovery adds another piece to the puzzle, and that puzzle paints a picture very different from the Hollywood monster we've grown up with. T-Rex was not a mindless killing machine. It was an adaptable, intelligent, opportunistic survivor. A predator when it could be, a scavenger when it needed to be, a giant feathered, bone-crushing animal that dominated the last days of the dinosaurs. And in the end, maybe that's what makes it so fascinating, not just because it was powerful, but because it was real. This has been Primeval Glimpse, and this is just the beginning.